Not used to this going into the final week of the National Hockey League season, really with the Hart Trophy race undecided. Here with Elliotte Friedman and Doug MacLean. We'll throw a couple of names your way and you can decide at home whether or not you agree. But Nate MacKinnon might be the one player where it's all or nothing.
I think there's something to that, Daren, and that's the case for me. You know, one of the big debates about the entire Hart Trophy race this year is Connor McDavid. And Connor McDavid, I mean, you don't need me to tell you what a phenomenal player he is, but Edmonton hasn't been in the playoff race for a long time, and history shows if you're not there, you don't win this award. So I'm sitting here with Nathan MacKinnon, and he's number one on my ballot as we sit here and tape this hit. If they make the playoffs without Erik Johnson and Varlamov in the lineup for the last two games, he is definitely going to be number one. But if they don't make it, I'm going to have to look at someone else, because I do think the playoffs matter. You have to get there.
For Nathan MacKinnon and where they came from a year ago, it would be a remarkable resurgence to make the playoffs and then have the MVP. And you probably agree that they would need that type of performance from an individual. The New Jersey Devils are getting that from Taylor Hall, going to make the playoffs, and this is a former first overall pick who's risen to the occasion.
I didn't have them in the playoffs, and it's a 25-point improvement, and it's been on Taylor Hall's back. 39 goals and 93 points, and a thing that jumps out at me, 42 points ahead of the next highest scorer, Nico Hischier, on his team. And Hischier is a rookie who is his centerman. He's been a great story. He's played an unbelievably important role. His speed is a factor. His leadership is a factor. His clutch scoring has been a factor in big games. So for me, he's the guy that makes the Devils go. Kincaid's been a great story, but Hall, to me, has been one of the big stories in the NHL this year.
Shattered his personal best in every category except power play goals, where he's even right now. There's two guys that you really root for because they've been to the expectation island and haven't quite reached it. But it's possible that neither one of them ends up winning the trophy.
Look, I think this is the most wide-open balloting we've had in a long time. We talked about McDavid. We mentioned these two guys. Let's go. Blake Wheeler, Giroux, Doug's guy, Brad Marchand, Bergeron. You know, keep going. Eric Staal.
Eric Staal.
Kucherov. And Kucherov is the guy, Daren, I think who's really getting shafted. I'm a big believer in recency bias. I think people who come up later tend to do the best. He's been the most consistent guy all year.
Biggie Funk, Blake Wheeler.
Yeah, I mentioned Wheeler. Yeah. Canada represent.
So Hall or your guy? Who are you taking?
I told you I'm taking MacKinnon right now.
I think you got to look at Hall.
When you said Hall or, I thought we were putting Bobby back in the mix. It's that wide open. Who knows? We're following the MVP race as well as the playoff race down the stretch of this National Hockey League season.